Good evening students, am I audible? Shall we start the session? Let me know fast. Am I audible? Can you see the screen? So that we can start the session. So please let me know fast. So that we can start the session. And in the last session we did till 85 questions. And one more thing is, by tomorrow evening you will be having second grand test that will be available on app. So if you want to take that test, so open app and see the questions and attempt those questions. Okay. So those are based on important themes of 2024 prelims. Okay, clear? And tomorrow, as soon as we are uploading questions in app, you will be getting notifications if you download the app. Okay, let us see the question. So question number 86, and what are the questions now we are going to take from 86 to 100? They are based on economy. So we completed science and technology, we completed current affairs part, we completed polity, history and also other things, and we left with only economy now. So we are going to see that. So first question is, consider the following statements regarding Monetary Policy Committee in India. So always you will see this word, Monetary Policy Committee, monetary policy decisions, interest rate, increasing, decreasing, RBI taking some steps like that, right? So here there is a very high chance of getting question regarding this Monetary Policy Committee. Yeah, good evening Harsha and good evening Aditya. So you have to focus on this topic for sure. So first statement is, Monetary Policy Committee, it is a statutory body constituted by Government of India under the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act of 2003. So this is the first statement. And next one is, the Governor of Reserve Bank of India is the ex officio chairman of Monetary Policy Committee. So he is ex officio chairman, which is given here, that is Governor of RBI. And next one is, the Monetary Policy Committee is responsible for formulating monetary policy and oversees its implementation. So these are the three statements which are given regarding Monetary Policy Committee in India. So here you have to select how many statements are correct. Clear? So read these three statements and please let me know which statement you are thinking that is absolutely correct. So I am asking about the statements that you think absolutely correct, because in economy, so there are some words we can use so that you can identify which are the correct and which are incorrect. I am going to give you that tips now, okay, especially from economy point of view. So good evening Monica. Yes, come on, tell me which statement you find that is absolutely true or correct in these three, 1, 2 or 3. So if you are following Hindi analysis, yes, you will be knowing about this question and the answer for this question for sure. Yeah, good evening Raj. Yes, first is correct, UPSC, crack UPSC with me. Okay, so first is correct and I am waiting for your replies. So be interactive so that we can make this session more interesting and you will be not getting bored, and also you will be getting, you know, the tips. Okay, you will be getting tips also if you are participating. Third is correct. Okay, Aditya says only 1, Aditya says 1 and 3 seems incorrect. So if you see this first statement, yes, this monetary policy is a statutory body, it is constituted by Government of India. So until this it is correct, but it is not under FRBM Act. So this monetary policy, it is not at all dealing with budget, right? It is dealing with inflation. And here in the second statement, you can see, if you are not knowing whether this Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act of 2003 is correct or not. So if you see this statement, we have Governor of RBI is ex officio chairman. So here regarding RBI and establishment of RBI and rules of RBI, we already have this RBI Act. Okay, if you know this thing like MPC is not at all related to budget, you can eliminate that. And if you see the second statement also, it is talking about RBI. So this RBI is established under this RBI Act, right? So here this Monetary Policy Committee is a statutory body which established or which constituted by government under this RBI Act only, not under this FRBM Act. So it's clearly saying that this first statement is incorrect. Clear? Yes, good evening Banu, good evening Abhinesh. Okay, 3 is correct. So actually the second statement is absolutely correct, because whenever Monetary Policy Committee and Monetary Policy news, so RBI governor will be there and his pick will be given. So in that way, observation is also very important while you are reading newspaper. And this one is Monetary Policy Committee is responsible for formulating monetary policy and oversees its implementation. Yes, of course, MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee, is responsible for policy making. So what's wrong in that? No, nothing, right? So these two statements are correct. Second and third. So ultimately, which is the correct option? Option B, only 2 is the correct answer. Okay, clear? Everyone, any more doubts? No, right? Shall we move on to next question? Okay, chalo. So next question is, in the context of Indian economy, what is Lucas' critique primarily concerned with? So first one is impact of monetary policy and inflation dynamics. Next one is the efficiency of fiscal policy in addressing unemployment. And third one is the relationship between government spending and economic growth. And option D is the need to consider the effects of policy changes on individuals' expectations and behavior. So please tell me which option you are thinking that it is suitable for this word, Lucas' critique. Lucas' critique. Come on, do you have any idea? So this question is difficult. If you know only 100% sure, you can go with this type of meanings of words. Okay, if not, then please leave this type of questions in your examination hall. Don't take risk. So tell me which one you are expecting that is correct. Tell me which one. Please do it fast. Yes, come on, tell me fast. Okay, option D, crack, UPSC, Nawaz D, Abhinesh C, Monica D. So actually this word Lucas' critique, it is related to effects of policy changes on individual expectations and behavior. Okay, it is regarding policy changes on individuals' expectations and behavior. So option D is correct option. So if you are not knowing about 100% sure regarding this type of question, so my sincere suggestion is please leave those questions. Okay. Yes, now let us see the next question. Consider the following statements. So there are two statements given. So first one is Indian government's fiscal deficit is calculated as the excess of its total expenditure over the total revenue, including both tax and non-tax revenues. And fiscal deficit does not include borrowing and other liabilities incurred by public sector undertakings. So many a times you can see this word called as fiscal deficit in newspaper. So it is your responsibility at least to know what is the meaning of that word fiscal deficit. Okay, if you know that, you can decide whether this first statement is correct or incorrect. And next one is fiscal deficit does not include the borrowings and other liabilities incurred by public sector undertakings. Okay, so this is entirely static based question, and if you are following our Hindu analysis, you might be knowing about this fiscal deficit for sure. Yes or no? So tell me. Yes, you are saying neither 1 or 2. Okay, Banu. Crack with UPSC 1 only. Okay, so actually what does this fiscal deficit means? So here we are getting revenue. Revenue is nothing but income in normal lay terms, and we are having expenditure. So whenever revenue is more compared to that of expenditure, that is called as what? Surplus. Surplus means we are having more money. Okay, we are getting more money than our expenditure. That is called as surplus. So whenever expenditure is more compared to that of revenue, we are calling it as deficit. Okay, deficit. So here we are talking about not only deficit but physical deficit, right? So do you know about this policy of government which is called as fiscal policy? So if you have studied this topic of inflation, you will be knowing about this fiscal policy. So fiscal policy includes like increasing of tax or decreasing of tax, or increasing of public spending or decreasing of public spending to maintain this stability of price in the market, right? So here actually this Indian government fiscal deficit is calculated as there is expenditure more compared to that of revenue. So even it is including both tax and non-tax. Okay, so this statement is absolutely correct. Clear? And next one is fiscal deficit does not include borrowings and other liabilities incurred by public sector undertakings. Yes, this statement is also absolutely correct. And so here these two statements are correct. So correct answer will be C, both 1 and 2. Okay, C, both 1 and 2. Okay, see the explanation part. Just see the explanation part. So here, which are those tax and non-tax revenues? So tax revenues includes, for example, income tax, GST. It is including both again direct and indirect tax here. And this one is non-tax revenues by dividends from PSUs, interest receipts, etc. Okay, so this fiscal deficit, which represents the gap between the government's income and even its spendings. So it is focusing on the central government's budgetary operations, and it excludes the borrowings undertaken by public undertakings. Okay, clear? Next, move on to next question. With reference to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, that is IBC in India, consider the following statements. And they gave 3 statements here. So let us see those statements clearly. So first one is IBC provides a time-bound process. Keyword is time-bound process for resolution of insolvency among companies and individuals. And next one is the National Company Law Tribunal is the adjudicating authority for incorporate insolvency resolution proceedings under this IBC. Next one is IBC does not apply to financial institutions which are regulated by RBI. Okay, RBI. And RBI have its own mechanisms to deal with these cases. So please identify which statement that you find odd. Okay. So based on that, we can identify the correct statements. So tell me fast. The first one, it is about time-bound process, whether it is correct or not. Whether it is correct or not, time-bound process. Yes, this first statement is absolutely correct. So one of the advantages of this IBC is it is providing the time-bound process for resolution of the issue. And next one is the National Company Law Tribunal is adjudicating authority for corporate insolvency resolution proceedings under this IBC. So do you know about this NCLT, anyone? So what is its role? Then you can decide whether this statement is correct or incorrect. Yes or no? Okay, B. Venu B, Monica, Samson. And next one is IBC does not apply to financial institutions regulated by Reserve Bank of India. And RBI have its own mechanism to deal with such cases. So this third statement is correct or incorrect? Please let me know. Fast. At least guess and try whether your guess goes right or wrong. What about this third statement, whether it is correct or incorrect? If there is any of its own mechanism which is dealing with this type of cases, so which is that mechanism? So do you have any idea? Come on, think and tell me fast, students. I am also giving you hints like how you have to think in examination hall. Okay, I will show you the explanation part. So actually here NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, it serves as the adjudicating authority for insolvency resolution proceedings. Okay, so that is the right statement. But IBC here RBI is not at all exempted under this IBC. IBC is also applicable for RBI. So RBI is not having any other specific regulations regarding this aspect of insolvency. So third one is incorrect. Yes, Nawaz, very good. That is 1 and 2 statements are correct, 3 is incorrect. So correct option is B, 2 only. Only 2 statements are correct. Okay. Clear? Any more doubts? If you have doubts, so please let me know so that I will be clearing your doubts also. And let us see next question, question number 90. Consider the following statements. So first one is the Phillips curve illustrates the relationship between tax rates and tax revenue suggestions, and suggesting that there is existing an optimal tax rate that maximizes revenue for government. So here this first statement is talking about Phillips curve. So Phillips curve is saying that there is relationship between tax rates and tax revenue. And next one is Laffer curve. So Laffer curve suggests inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment, and proposes that lower unemployment rate leads to higher inflation, vice versa. So tell me here which are the statements regarding these two curves is correct. Tell me. So I want to give you one trick here. So whenever you are getting statements on similar pattern, like similar like monetary policy and fiscal policy, Phillips curve, Laffer curve or any other curve, so those will be interchanged. So this is one way where UPSC is playing tricks. So most of the cases that will be the thing, they will confuse the students. So actually this Phillips curve will be talking about inflation and unemployment. It is not this Laffer curve. So Laffer curve, it says about the relationship between tax rates and tax revenue. Okay, clear? So correct answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. Very good. Crack UPSC. Okay, good Venu and Samson. Very good. You are following the class. And are you understanding the tricks like how to answer the questions? So it has been around, today is 5th session, right? 5th or 6th session. So in the 6th session, I hope at least some of you got some idea like how to answer the questions, right? Yes or no? Okay, very good, Aditya. Now let us see next question. It is about again RBI. Consider the following statements. The RBI introduced the concept of standing deposit facility to regulate liquidity in the banking system, SDF method. And next one is SDF allows banks to place their surplus funds with the RBI overnight at a predetermined rate, providing an alternative to the traditional overnight call money market. So have you heard about this SDF? Anyone? Standing deposit facility. So if you have gone through clearly regarding this banking system, you will be studying about this SDF for sure. So do you have any idea about this SDF? Okay, Venu and Aditya. 1 and 2 one only and second option not overnight. Okay. So tell me, do you have any idea about what is this SDF? So let us see this SDF and we'll come back to the question. Okay. So here the Reserve Bank of India introduced this concept of standing deposit facility. And this facility, it is to regulate liquidity in the banking system. Okay, so this is absolutely correct. And next one is, so this SDF which allows the banks to deposit their surplus funds with RBI overnight at a predetermined rate. Okay, so because of this, the second statement is also correct. And actually this SDF method, why it is advantageous? Because it provides an alternative to traditional overnight call money market. Okay, so in this overnight call money market, banks, they will lend and borrow reserves among themselves by offering a safe and reliable option for surplus funds. So in this way here SDF, which will be helpful for RBI to manage liquidity in the banking system. So by this method, actually RBI will be absorbing the liquidity in the market because it is providing some attractive rate for deposits. Okay, clear? And here because of this, I can say these two statements are absolutely correct. So correct option is both 1 and 2. Clear? Okay, now let us see next question. It is very easy question. What is the concept of liquidity trap in economics? So option A is, so listen to the options carefully. Option A is a situation where interest rates are high, leading to decreased investment and economic activity. And option B is a condition where monetary policy becomes ineffective due to very low interest rates and people hoarding cash. And option C is a scenario where physical stimulus fail to boost aggregate demand due to high levels of government debt. And option D is, it is an economic state where inflation is high, causing a decrease in consumer spending and investment. So liquidity, if you listen that word, so it is directly related to which concept? Think and tell me, it's very easy. Crack UPSC with me, option D. Okay. Venu D. So actually liquidity, it is related to money supply in market. It is related to what? Money supply in market, right? So in this context, so where we will study to decrease or increasing of money supply? To control price. So controlling of price is related to which topic? Very important. Every time in news, that is inflation. So where you can see this word inflation? In this fourth option. So actually this liquidity trap, it is an economic state where inflation is high and causing a decrease in consumer spending and investment. So this is the meaning of what is this liquidity trap is about. Clear? And next question is, with reference to national monetization pipeline, consider the following statements. So this national monetization pipeline is very important for this year UPSC prelims 2024. You have to be prepared with this for sure. So first one is national monetary pipeline or national monetization pipeline aims to unlock the value of brownfield infrastructure assets through monetization. And next one is it primarily focusing on greenfield infrastructure to boost economic growth. And next one is to proceed from asset monetization under this national monetization pipeline to be utilized for funding new infrastructure projects. So if you read these three statements, what do you understand? Tell me that. Think first. So after reading these three statements, what do you understand? It's very tricky. So here you have to know about infrastructure projects. So in infrastructure projects, we have two types. So one is brownfield and next one is greenfield. So greenfield are entirely new projects. So brownfields are like second hand in simple layman terms to understand. So this national monetization is we are dealing with brownfield infrastructure. So we are unlocking the monetization or unlocking the value of this brownfield infrastructure through monetization. And what are the money we are getting from here? So we are going to invest in this greenfield. That means we are not at all focusing primarily on this greenfield. So we are focusing on this brownfield infrastructure projects. Okay, so first it is absolutely correct. So this national monetization pipeline, it is focusing on unlocking the value of this brownfield infrastructure assets through monetization. And next one is it primarily focuses on greenfield infrastructure projects. It is not at all focusing on greenfield. It is focusing on this brownfield for boosting of economic growth. And next one is the proceeds from asset monetization under National Monetization Program will be utilized for funding new infrastructure projects. So whatever money we are getting and we are moving for this greenfield projects. So this third statement is absolutely right. So how many statements are right here? That is only 2. So correct option is B. Clear or getting points? So here you have to know the basic idea, and on this basic idea you can eliminate the statements in the questions. Yes or no? Are you getting confidence? Am I boosting your preparation? Yes or no? Tell me. Okay, next question is, which of the following accurately describes the concept of fiscal federalism in Indian context? So number of times you got directly editorials regarding this fiscal federalism. So I will not saying answer for this question. Students, now it is your turn to tell the answer for this question. So option A is it aims to achieve equitable distribution of financial resources among various states based on their development needs. And this one is it is emphasizing the role of local self-government in revenue generation and expenditure and allocation. And option C is it refers to division of powers and responsibilities between central and state governments regarding fiscal matters. And it focuses on promoting fiscal discipline and accountability at all the levels of government. So out of these 4 options, which is the right option? Meenakshi B, Praveen B, Nawaz B, Crack UPSC C. So tell me which is the correct option for this question. I am waiting. So everyone, and number of times I discussed this topic in our Hindi analysis, students. So you should not go wrong. If you are getting this type of simple questions in your examination hall, don't confuse. So I can understand you will be in pressure, anxiety, etc. But try to make your mind to act with full potential in examination hall. So federalism, okay, so it is about physical federalism. Federalism means nothing but division of powers between central and state. So physical, it is talking about money, right? So option C says that it refers to division of powers and responsibilities between central and state governments regarding fiscal matters. Very simple, option C is the correct answer. Very good, Vikrant, Uma, Anudeep, Meenakshi, Aditya, Venu, very good. So option C is the correct answer. And now let us see next question. Consider the following statements regarding RBI's open market operations, OMO. So OMO is also very important, and this year it was highly seen in news. Yeah, first statement is OMOs are conducted to regulate the liquidity and money supply in the economy by buying or selling of government securities. And this one is OMOs are exclusively used for RBI to influence long-term interest rates. So whenever you are reading statements, you have to focus on which term, long-term, medium-term, small-term or short-term. So with these words, UPSC will confuse you. Okay, from economy you have to remember that. Next one is OMO involves a direct purchase or sale of government securities from or to the banks or other financial institutions. And this one is one of the major objective of OMOs. It is to achieve the inflation target set by Monetary Policy Committee. And you have to see which are the statements incorrect. So tell me. So which statement that you find correct and which statement you have doubt? I am waiting, students. Please let me know fast. Venu says A, only one. Okay. What about others? Tell me, come on. It is also a very important topic and most expected topic of this year UPSC prelims. Third wrong. Okay. Second doubt. Sujata C. C means only 3. Aditya 2 and 4 incorrect. Ammu says 4 is wrong. Okay, so let me explain. Actually, these open market operations, they are conducted to regulate liquidity, that is money supply in the market. Okay, it may be by buying or selling. So in this way, we can control money supply and liquidity in the market. So this statement is absolutely correct. So incorrect, all of the above will be removed. And this one is OMOs are exclusively used by RBI to influence long term, but they are not at all long term, they are short term operations. So this is incorrect, second one. And third one is open market operations involve the direct purchase of purchase or sale of government securities from or to the banks to other financial institutions. Yes, it is absolutely correct. And next one is one of the major objective of OMOs, it is to achieve the inflation target set by Monetary Policy Committee. Yes, why we are going to manage money supply? So this money supply and liquidity, it is related to inflation. So why you have doubt in this fourth statement? So this statement is absolutely correct. So in statements or incorrect statements are A, 1 only. It is not B, Akhil, Praveen, it is not B. And crack UPSC 1 only is the incorrect statement here. Okay, clear? Any more doubts, students? No, right? Yes, now let us see the next question. Consider the following statements. So first one is Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 is administered by Reserve Bank of India, not by Ministry of Finance. This is first statement. This is very confusing. I will be agreeing with you. And next one is FEMA empowers the central government to regulate foreign exchange transaction and currency dealings in India. So you have to identify which are the correct statement. So tell me which are the correct statements in those two fast. So which are the correct statements in those two? Samsung is saying D, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, do you have any idea about this FEMA, anyone? Have you heard at least this word? Either a news analysis also? Have you heard? Unfortunately or accidentally? Please let me know. Samson B, Aditya 1 only. Venu B, Vikrant B, Samson B, Raghu. Hello madam, good evening. Good evening Raghu. You are late to class. Actually I began class a bit early because I have some commitments. So I don't want to miss. Even yesterday also I tried a lot to take the session, but unfortunately yesterday live I missed. Okay, Sujata 1. Okay, so here actually FEMA, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 is administered by Reserve Bank of India under the guidance of central government, which comes under Ministry of Finance. So first is correct. And here this statement, so this act is saying that foreign exchange, right? So it is regulating foreign exchange transactions and even currency dealings in India. So both the statements are correct. Okay, very good, Nandan. Pawan Sai, please do correct. It is C, both. And next is very simple question. What is the primary objective of monetary policy committee in India? Option A is ensuring financial inclusion, maximizing employment, achieving high economic growth, price stability. So tell me, I want answer from each and everyone to this question. Tell me please, answer for this 97th question. Venu A, Aditya D, next. Venu A, Aditya D, next. Meenakshi D, Anudeep B. Raghu D, Praveen D. Anudeep B is correct, okay. Shri says C, Pawan Sai D, Meenakshi D, cracking UPSC D. So it is a very basic question. Monetary Policy Committee, it is to control inflation. So inflation is nothing but price. So we have to maintain stability of price in market. So correct answer is D. So students who gave answer except D, so please do correct. So answer is D. It is regarding inflation or price stability. So you have to know the alternative meanings also. Okay, very good, Vikrant, Sujata. Okay, so answer is D. Price stability is the correct answer. And next question is, consider the following statements regarding Securities Transaction Act tax in India. Okay, it is talking about Securities Transaction Tax. So first statement is Security Transaction Tax is levied on transactions involving purchase and sale of securities listed on recognized stock exchanges in India. And second statement is the rates of STT varies based on the type of security and nature of transaction. And next one is STT is not applicable to transaction executed through electronic trading platforms. And next one is the proceeds from STT are exclusively allocated to disaster response fund and cross-border security transactions of the Indian government. And you have to find which are the statements incorrect. So tell me at least which statements that you have doubt. In these four, there are 4 statements. So read the statements correctly. Read statements and let me know which statement is correct and which is incorrect. Come on, read it fast. Okay, so before saying statements, I will give you explanation part. I think many of you might not be knowing about this STT. So STT is levied on transactions. Either it may be purchasing or sale of securities listed in recognized stock exchanges. So on stock exchanges, whenever you are going for selling and purchasing of securities, yes, on that you have to pay that tax. And next one is the rate of tax does vary. Okay, yes, it is varying. That means it is different when you are having certain type of securities like equities, shares, derivatives, etc. And next one is STT applies to all transactions. There is no exclusion of electronic trading platforms. And next one is the proceeds from this STTs are not exclusively allocated. Okay, they are not at all. How this money they are collecting as tax, they will be allocated to National Disaster Response Fund or cross-border transactions. So there is no relation, right? So this is also incorrect. So how many are incorrect? 3 and 4. So what is the correct option? B. Only 2 statements are incorrect. Very good, Pavan. And next question. '99. So which of the following most precisely describes green finance? So if you know about the word, what is the meaning of green, then you can easily do this. And green finance, green funds, they are highly in use. Okay, so you have to know that. So first option is financial instructions designed to promote environmentally sustainable projects and investments. And option B is government subsidies aimed at supporting new and diverse energy initiatives. Next one is policies to regulate carbon emissions and reduce greenhouse emissions. And option D is investment in traditional industries mainly oriented towards forest economy and primarily focus on conservation of forest ecosystem. Come on, tell me which is the correct answer for this green finance. Praveen B, Saman A, Chinta Vikrant A. Okay, next. Crack UPSC A, very good. Next. Venu D, Aditya A, Nandan A, Anudeep A, Meenakshi B, Anudeep A, okay. So actually one thing it is clear that it is not at all dealing with traditional industries, okay. So it is also not focusing on greenhouse gases. Always green finance and green related things, they will be focusing on sustainable environment. So here wherever you are seeing this word sustainable, that will be the correct answer for this green part, okay. Green here finance. Clear? Option A, very good Premlata. Pavan, very good. Venu, it is option A, not D. And next question is, consider the following statements regarding RBI's marginal standing facility, MSF. So most of the questions are given from banking sector only because it is very important. And the first statement is, MSF is a window for scheduled commercial banks to borrow funds from RBI against government securities. And next one is, the interest rate on MSF is generally lower than repo rate. Banks can avail funds under MSF for a maximum duration of 7 days. So again here you have to identify which are the correct statements. Come on, read these 3 statements and tell me which are the correct statements for this question. So which are the statements that you find or that you feel correct? Come on, read. So while you are reading economy, try to apply application part. And you need to know the application of that so and so concept in these statements. Okay. Pavan A, Samson B, Vikrant A, Aditya 1 is correct. 1 first wrong. Anudeep 3 is odd. Okay. And especially in banking sector, you have to very much be careful about duration, open market operations, so and so. So they will be giving directly the numbers. So you have to be careful with that. Premlata B, Sujata A. Crack UPSC says interest rate is higher. So absolutely. So this interest rate is not lower, it is higher. Very good UPSC. Okay, Nandan D, Raghu M, A, Sandeep A, 1 is wrong. Okay. So actually here only one statement is incorrect and remaining 2 statements are correct. So as one of our friends said that in MSF, so there is higher rate. There is higher rate than repo rate. And these 2 statements, MSF indeed it is a window for scheduled commercial banks to borrow short-term funds overnight from RBI against government securities. Okay, it is correct. And even banks can borrow funds under this MSF for a maximum period of 1 business day. Okay, so because of this it is incorrect. So actually, yeah, in this question they gave 7 days, right? So it is for only 1 day. So in this way UPSC will confuse you. So how many statements are incorrect here? 2 statements are incorrect. So option is A, 1 only. Okay, clear? So I done with 100 questions of test 1. That's all. Okay. So and tomorrow you will be getting maximum by evening we will be uploading test 2, grand test 2. So take that test, and tomorrow I will be taking at least 15 questions of Grand Test 2 in tomorrow's live class. Clear? So I think these sessions are helpful for you to identify the tricks and techniques, and I will be helping you to find how you can eliminate the statements. Okay, and thank you so much for attending this session, and tomorrow again we are going to have live class. There we are going to discuss Grand Test 2. Okay, at least first 15 questions in tomorrow's class. And thank you so much for attending this session, and bye students, and do revise the topics and focus on the topics which are repeated themes. That's it. Okay, do PYQs and practice as many mock tests as possible now to improve your knowledge. So that's all. Thank you so much for attending this session, and good night students.